The story that I chose for my story map is the Aral Sea disaster and what caused it. How once the fourth largest inland sea in the world was 4,000 square kilometers of fertile fresh water turned into barren and toxic desert. The Aral Sea crisis is one of the worst man-made environmental disasters in the history of the modern world. The Aral Sea, located in Central Asia, was once the fourth largest inland sea in the world. In the recent past, it was a unique natural object with high biological productivity and a very big world of living organisms. The Aral Sea drainage basin encompasses Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and parts of Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Kyrgyzstan. In 1960, the surface of the Aral Sea lay 175 feet above the sea level and covered an area of some 26,000 square miles. Since the 1960s, water volume has been reduced by a factor of 14. 54,000 square kilometers of fertile fresh water, which gave a home to millions of fish and people, turned into barren desert. In other words, just by the depletion of the Aral Sea, the world has lost 1% of its surface area of fresh water. That change resulted primarily because of the diversion for purposes of irrigation of the river and waters of the Sirdarya and the Amudarya, which discharged into the Aral Sea and were its main sources of inflowing water. The Soviet government decided in the 1960s to divert the water from the Amudarya and Sirdarya rivers so that they could irrigate the desert region surrounding the sea in order to favor agriculture rather than supply to the Aral Sea basin. With the increased agricultural land to further enhance the flourishing cotton industry, water consumption also increased dramatically. The latest data revealed that the water level in the Aral Sea drops by an average of 31 to 35 inches yearly. The rapid shrinkage of the Aral Sea led to numerous environmental problems in the region. The salt and mineral content of the lake rose drastically because of that, making the water unfit for drinking purposes and killing off the once abundant supplies of sturgeon, carp, barbel, and roach and other fishes, which numbered about 200 species. Winds blowing across the exposed seabed produced dust storms that buffeted the region with the toxic dust contaminated with salt, fertilizer, and pesticides. As a result, the area's inhabitants have suffered health problems as unusually high rates from throat cancers to anemia and kidney diseases, and infant mortality in the region has been among the highest in the world. The contraction of the Aral Sea also made the local climate noticeably harsher, with more extreme winter and summer temperatures. Reliance on cotton production for income has also hindered attempts to restore the Aral Sea to its former glory. The government could have done the rehabilitation of the Aral Sea, but then they would have put a lot of farmers who are using water for irrigation out of employment, says Ahmad, who works as farmer in Uzbekistan. You cannot give up something that gives you income. Regional cooperation is crucial to address these issues, and Central Asian countries should unite in their efforts between governments, NGOs, local communities, and donors and take significant steps to restore the ecosystem. Reducing irrigation could also help bring the sea back. Uzbekistan desperately needs the money brings and is unwilling to make reductions in water usage. Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan also are reluctant to make reductions. The cost of returning the Aral Sea to something of its former size has been estimated at around 280 billion. There has been some discussions of building a canal between the Aral Sea and Caspian Sea, which is rising. Another proposal is to divert water from other rivers to feed the lake. The crisis clearly indicated the need for development of an effective water management system in collaboration with all stakeholders, including the neighboring countries. Abandoning or reducing certain agricultural activities with a high level of water consumption, such as cotton, tobacco, and rice production, which help more water flow into the Sirdarya River and ultimately to the Aral Sea, could help. Restoring parts of the Soviet Union irrigation management system and constructing some new system elements can also help. Thank you for your attention.